Oh wow. Are we about to see a new EU champion? Joreuz has won plenty of tournaments. But actually Rezears has as well. Both these guys have won a one tournament. Rezears was the champion, if you're not aware, of the EU Boost Cup for DreamHack. So he's also had a big win. Yeah, Toxic is looking for his first big win against the winner of this later on today. Joreuz looked like he was on form for his lower bracket round 2 to get him into this match. Rezears was on form yesterday to make it through the uppers. Last time these two played, it was Rezears who came out on top, but many were calling that, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Rezears' win by saying this, but a lot of the reactions I saw to that match was that Joreuz beat himself. Now, I would disagree. I think Rezears and Joreuz were very close that day, and Joreuz' inconsistency allowed Rezears to just run away with it, but Joreuz looked pretty consistent earlier on today against Luis, so I'm going to say that he's winning this. If he can replicate what he did in the lower round 2, I think he's got a grand finals date with Toxic to finish off the tournament. I don't think Toxic and Joreuz have played so far this event, have they? Toxic's only played against Luis, Dead Monster, Atto, and now in the other semi-final Moxie, so we're going to get no rematches throughout this entire thing by the looks of things, which is kind of cool. So 2-1 Rezears, nice little demo pick up in the back corner there to set up an open net for himself. Buffalo, thanks to the 34-month prime, by the way. He says Toxic versus Rezears coming, predicting Rezears to take down Joreuz for a second time in a row. This is best of 7. Last time they played it was best of 5 show match. Joreuz, of course, usually plays a little bit better in tournaments, I should say, than he does in show matches. He's got that experience. He can play more to his usual level. Oh, wow, that is a banger from Rezears. Reset, rebound, and at some pace as well. Read the downward bounce, it would seem. Either that or just shot it into it. Stuck around in the area. Joreuz versus Luis, for those of you who missed it earlier on, I know a lot of people would have been watching the Rocket League channel earlier on. First touch was happening, I believe, during that match. Joreuz versus Luis is just a ridiculously impressive defensive display from Joreuz, where he read almost everything that Luis attempted at the tail end of that series. Joreuz now trying to backflip a ceiling shot downwards into the net. Rezears pretty comfortably able to stop that one. So that one got just a little bit too far away from Joreuz. He would have probably liked for that to be closer to him so that he could get a touch before Rezears got to him. Yeah, don't underestimate Rezears. I've got Joreuz winning, but not by much. I think Rezears is a beast in ones, and like Joreuz, he's got that tournament experience. He had multiple big wins on his way to the DreamHack Boost Cup 1v1 victory about a year and a half ago, maybe a year and a few months ago now. Taking down Luis, taking down Ashley a couple of times. That's a massive flick. Joreuz decides to make a touch on it anyway, get a bit of distance on the clear. Let's see what Rezears' plan is when Joreuz gives him the full pitch to work with. Well, thought about maybe flipping into that and starting an air dribble, but it would have invested a ton of boost if he'd done that, so he decided against it. Joreuz able to sneak in his second goal after Rezears concedes possession. It's all about that little touch there in the lead up to the shot from Joreuz. He managed to hit it directly on target in a position that he could catch up with. Rezears probably didn't expect Joreuz to play for the direct goal there. Rezears has left the ball. Joreuz sees that, has time to pick his spot, and does exactly that. Rezears is still, I guess, a newer name in the one scene than Joreuz, so if you are not used to watching this guy play, I'm sure the majority of you guys now know all about Rezears and know what he brings to the table. He is a high volume attacker. What I mean by that is that he likes to take lots of shots, so he will try and end every single push with a shot on target, and maybe play for boost steals, bumps, and positional plays off the back of it, but it'll always have a shot in there, or tend to have a shot in there at some point. Some players prefer to just go for the play for the position, not really worry too much about the shot, just put the ball in an awkward position, and then look for the boost steal or the positional play, the demo maybe. and only once their opponent's position is compromised or their boost total is compromised do they then look for a shot on target. But Rezears likes to shoot. He likes to just test his opponent often, and look to see how Joreuz handles that with his exceptional goalkeeping that he's had on display today. Well, that's actually a very good shot by Joreuz. That's a tricky one to get a lot of power on. Had to fly from the wrong side of the ball there and save his dodge while doing so. Now Joreuz trying to keep the ball away from Rezears with that touch. Does so, and Rezears punished for the boost steal. Joreuz already getting a result with his half flip kickoff on the diagonal spawn. The key there was controlling with the first touch, not trying to boom the ball away from himself, but actually trying to control it. He's going to go for it again, you know. Rezears sets up the wave dash, but Joreuz closes the distance so quickly. He tries to redirect from distance. It's on, but not with enough pace for Rezears to fail on catching up with it. 100 boost for Joreuz in defense here. Rezears hops high, maybe a bit too high. And in fact, Joreuz didn't need to do anything on that one. Rezears flew for the rebound and missed that as well. So 2 goals to the good for the Dutchman. Is it just here? Is the overlay brighter? The overlay's got the ProDrops logo in it for the ProDrops matches, compared to usually not having any logos in there. Just a small adaptation of the standard in-game overlay. Oh, nice reset from Joreuz. Reaches underneath the ball in the nick of time and then loops it over the top of Rezears' challenge. Yeah, I prefer to do pretty simple overlays these days for ones because it's pretty easy to keep track of both players' boost totals. You don't need the boost indicator for both players on the screen at all times. At least for me, I think it's pretty easy to keep track of both players' boost totals. Especially, like, I prefer when I'm spectating to switch POVs quite a lot. I know some people don't like that, but that's what I prefer. I like to check in on both players periodically. Sometimes I'll go on one player POV for an extended period of time, but the majority of the time I'll just keep switching and see where both players are, how they're doing for boosts, how they're moving, how confident they're looking. Rezears has actually complimented Joreuz on that phenomenal save there. It was micromanaged to perfection. Joreuz has played for another fake kickoff here. Rezears getting a bit of a better result off the back of it, though. Pre-flips into the ball for his 6th goal. Loving the fake kickoffs and the complete no-go kickoffs from Joreuz as well. Really does keep his opponent guessing. Love to hear more takes on this. I think I replied to Lethamer out of a cat, like not during a cast yesterday about this. Lethamer was in my chat talking about the fact that Joreuz and I think Atto as well were both going for half flip kickoffs at the same time, resulting in both players having 100 boosts for the kickoff. And I know Leth's been a long time advocate of having 100 boosts on kickoff. But it's an interesting thing to think about. What do you guys think about boost totals on kickoff? Would you like to see Rocket League with 100 boosts on kickoff? Would you like to see Rocket League with maybe just a little bit more boosts on kickoff for both players to work with? Would you prefer to see Rocket League with just somebody starting off with the possession on kickoff and the other player just has to wait for the attack to come towards him, kind of like Heat Seeker? For me, I kind of like where it's at right now. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, there's been times throughout history where I thought maybe it's better to have a possession on kickoffs, but like way back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, probably 5 years ago, I was interested in the possession kickoff strategy where every time you lose a goal in kickoff, you just get the ball. Or every time you lose a goal in ones, you just get the ball in the next play. I thought that would be interesting to explore, but recently I kind of just like where it's at. That's obviously just my opinion, and other people can disagree if they want to, but yeah, I kind of like where kickoff meta is at. I think it's extremely interesting, and it's still developing. Prince Noctis 96, thanks for the 7-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate the support. Rezears off the wall, gets his flip off the ceiling, and wave dashes a shot to the bottom right corner to open the scoring in game 2. Mouthbase, thanks for the 3-month prime. Welcome back to the channel as well. Kickoffs should be less dangerous in ones. I don't really think so, because one of the problems is... Wow, Joreuz slots. Perfect ceiling shot past Rezears. One of the problems with both players having 100 boost immediately on a kickoff, and this is kind of another problem that's related to just giving the possession to one of the players in the kickoff. I mean, if you give the possession to one of the players in the kickoff, what they're going to do is they're going to dribble to the 100 boost. And the other player's going to dribble to their 100 boost, and then both players have 100 boost. So the same kind of idea, just one player is guaranteed to have the ball instead of both players having to fight for it. But I think the issue with both those things is that it's just too easy to control. There's not enough chaos. And without chaos, without you know, forced engagements in Rocket League, without 50-50s, without races to the ball, you're never going to get goals. Like, if you look at where goals come from in Rocket League, they usually all start from either a 50-50 or a race to the ball that one player wins. Look at this, Joreuz again, half flipping into his net on the kickoff. He did this earlier and got a goal off it, and he's done it again. Rezears has overextended to the back corner boost, and he's going to be pretty frustrated with himself for that, because similarly to Luis in the previous round, seems like players are underestimating or misreading what exactly Joreuz has planned when he half flips into his net on the slight offset spawn. What Joreuz is planning is to threaten an in and out save or an in and out clear and actually just control the ball. So players are playing for the boost steal, expecting Joreuz to hit the ball away, and then Joreuz just controls it and shoots, and the net's wide open. So he's had success with that in 2 different series today, and he's yet to be scored on. Worth noting. I'm sure there are counter strats to this. If you know it's coming, you can just dribble the ball away and take 100 boost and ball. No way. Joreuz has controlled this. Well, I don't know if he knew much about that when he took off. I don't think this was planned from the beginning of that play, but he adapted brilliantly. Rezears was caught completely off guard by that second touch going in the opposite direction of where he was going. The final's going to be after this, not immediately after this, probably after like a 5 or 10 minute break. But it will be played out today. Winner of this will be in the grand final against Toxic. Reminder that both players in this match right now have already locked in $500 each, and the winner of this will lock in another 500, and then the winner of the final will lock in an additional 1,000. All thanks to ProDrops for sponsoring the tournament. Rezears still down by 1. Has Joreuz in his sights though. Wasn't able to react quickly enough to the challenge to drop the ball into a successful low 50. Flicking from beyond thanks to the Prime. Welcome to the channel. Lovely shot from Rezears to tie. Prize pool for first is, well, 2k. That's what you get when you have 500 in a semi, win another 500 for winning the semi, and then win another 1,000 for winning the final. 2k if you win. Rezears now up by 1. Seeing a lot of possession, seeing a lot of opportunities on net, and just narrowly beating Joreuz to the punch on a couple of occasions. It's all it's taken for Rezears to put himself back in front again. Joreuz, similar to his Luis series, playing very defensively minded, and making it work very well. I mean, this stylistically does seem to be effective for Joreuz. He's got the reads in defense for days, as again he pre-jumps so early to absolutely counter what Rezears is up to. Bit dangerous there by Joreuz, but he's expecting Rezears to not be moving at supersonic speed there. That's why he puts himself in a slightly dangerous position where he could be bumped off the wall. And Joreuz just takes off for a slow air dribble. He knows Rezears is completely boost starved, and he plays for a 100% play. What I mean by that is a play that your opponent simply cannot counter if they are in fact on 0 boost as you expect them to be. A nice bump by Rezears. Joreuz going to try and pre-flip back into position. Rezears reads the downward bounce off his own flick and scores to put himself in front again. Rezears' goal explosion is no good for Twitch bit rate. Is that really causing problems? Type 1 in chat if Rezears' goal explosion is causing it's not screen tear, but the, what do you call it when there's pixels visible? Forgotten the name of it. Yeah, it sounds like it is an issue. I can ask him to change it in the next game if you guys remind me. Artifacts, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, chat. Oh yeah, Joreuz is using party time, which is another notoriously bad goal explosion for streaming. I suppose I could just ask both players to change their goal explosions. It's pretty fair if both have to do it. Don't think they'll mind too much. Joreuz flick from distance, just off target. I believe Rezears artificing, sorry, not artifact. Is it artificing? Is that how you say it? I've seen the word, but I've never actually said it. Artifacts, man. I'm such a low IQ tech nerd. It's so difficult being a streamer, you know? And this is good. This is first world problems coming up. You ready for this? For some reason, like just the fact that you work online and on a PC makes everyone in real life think that you know how to fix their PC. Everyone. Or their internet. Or anything related to technology. They'll be like, oh yeah, you work online. So I've been having issues with my mobile. I'm like, yeah, I can't help you. So, yeah, actually I know absolutely nothing about technology. Whenever something goes wrong on my stream, I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Biggest issue is usually sound. Oh my goodness, the amount of problems I've had with sound over the years is the #1 problem for the majority of streamers, I'd say. Oh, what a reset. Rezears denied by the bar, but he was narrowly off on that one. Joreuz just shoots from distance. Rezears steers the ball to the corner. Another possession for him in the closing seconds of game 2. He's kind of lost control of it, though. It completely gets away from him. Joreuz takes it for free. Pops it up high. That's going to force Rezears back into the corner. Joreuz wants to start a low air dribble, or does he? Actually, baits it in for a 0-second play. That's very interesting. Joreuz trying to go for a 0-second play. They're not wanting to score with any time left on the clock. Now half flips into the back corner on 0 seconds. Rezears saw it a bit earlier here. Forces Joreuz to turn. But Joreuz saves the initial shot only to fail to fly into the ball to keep the second one out. And that was a better effort from Rezears, certainly. Last time he tried to dribble Joreuz, he just went quickly. Joreuz closed the distance. This time, he had enough control, slow it down, and put a little bit more of a dangerous flick on target. It didn't look like too much, but really there, Joreuz is pre-jumping to defend the potential of a top corner flick, so he has to jump, and when the ball goes right at him, it's quite difficult to adjust. Kickoff solution, bring the ball cannon from rookie training and have it spinning around and shoot the ball in a random direction. I don't think that would be good though. I mean, all the kickoff suggestions I'm seeing are, all of the kickoff like adaptations I'm seeing suggested by the Rocket League community are things that will lead to both players having 100 boosts more often, and probably one player has the ball and the other player is just on him. Now, do you guys want to see lower scoring games? Do you guys want to see positions where both players have boosts and the ball to play with? I don't really want to see that, because for me, I think ones is more interesting when there's slight disadvantages, when one player's having to play with a slight deficit, when one player has a slight edge in a position, tends to produce bigger plays, because when one player has a small advantage, they can make the decision to either try and capitalize on that advantage immediately, or play for a more gradual strategy, more gradual chip away at your opponent kind of strat. I think it gives more variety if you have the current kickoffs and everything you guys are suggesting. That was a very good save by Joreuz to dodge the demo there, but he didn't get the ball far away enough from his net to deny Rezears the bump on the recovery, followed by the immediate shot. Yeah, long story short, I just want to see kickoffs stay exactly as they are now. There's been times in the past where I thought that they could be better if they are changed slightly in some way or another, but right now the meta's in a really cool place. Tons of mind games, tons of strategies, lots of different ideas being put to good use. And yeah, kickoffs, they right now they lead to lots of positions where one player can make a big play immediately, or the other, put their opponent immediately under trouble. That's when Rocket League 1v1 is most interesting. It's when one player is making a huge play, not when two players are driving around the pitch with 100 boosts, chasing each other. That's not as interesting. It can still happen. You still get that. Like, on occasion, you still get that kind of play where it's midfield play back and forth, just very positional, very much about the demo threats and very much about the boost management. But do you want to see that all the time? No. You want to see that sometimes? Sure. We already get that in the current meta. Catsy Kairu, thanks for the 7-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. Joreuz is starting to be a bit more risky with his offense in this game, and it is not paying off. These are largely failed mechanical plays by Joreuz. Maybe just a little bit more of a solid style might favor him for now until he stabilizes. So right now he is leaking quite a lot of goals compared to earlier in the series, and he's not been there to save as many of the goals as he usually is. In the past couple of games he's been in net to at least attempt saves and force Rezears to make one more touch, but this game not so much. Rezears has had open nets a higher percentage than previously. Double reset for Rezears. Oh my goodness, what a brilliant shot that is. Just realized I forgot to ask them to change the goal explosions, but you're not going to be sad to see it there. Perfect placement off a double reset. Usually double resets are all about the power, trying to accelerate the ball at a surprising rate, but that time it was just a gorgeous finish from Rezears. Beating Joreuz for aerial mechanics right now. Joreuz again trying to redirect the ball off his own backboard. It's close, but we'll need more power. We'll need to get his car moving more quickly. Tries to lunge in. Rezears sees him coming, and he also sees that he's got a whole lot of time to score this. 6 goal advantage. So Rezears takes a massive lead in momentum. Starting to counter this more aggressive Joreuz without really suffering anything in return. I mean, Joreuz has played more aggressively in this game than either of the ones prior, and it's been the worst game out of all the 3 that we've seen. Finally able to get 1 goal back. The artifacts go away pretty quickly. Alright, no need to make fun of me, come on. It's fair enough, fair enough. I kind of asked for that one. Artifacts go away pretty quickly after the kick after the goal explosion. Sure, a nice shot. Well, Rezears is spotting absolutely every single Joreuz early challenge. I'm going to watch this replay one more time before I say go next. Yeah, he pretty much just spotted the open net there and knew that he could just shoot into it. Go next is Joreuz, forfeit at 6 goal deficit. So into game 4 we go. GG. Rezears is really putting the pain to Joreuz right now. Don't ask them to change. Yeah, I'll probably just leave it. It's been long enough now. Might as well just leave it as is. But I wonder if after game 2, Rezears' victory in game 2 against that defensively minded Joreuz, that passive style of Joreuz that we've seen today, made Joreuz think, okay, it's time to up the aggression a little bit. This passive style seems to be putting me in awkward positions where Rezears is eventually scoring after tough shots and multiple angles get denied. Eventually Rezears will get a key bump and score. I wonder if that made Joreuz think that a more aggressive style of defense was necessary and a more all-in style of offense. I'm not sure it was necessary myself. I think that what he was doing was working stylistically, maybe just failing on the execution front a little bit. But yeah, the main thing I don't like that Joreuz switched up was way too many rush challenges. Way too many. I think a few is fine, but he did it way too many times in that last game and it clearly wasn't working. And early in the game when he wasn't already down by numerous goals. So it wasn't necessary at that point. Joreuz missed a boost here. Going to stick to the ball anyway. Gets the demo. So rewarded for his aggression there. I wouldn't mind seeing Joreuz stick to the mechanical plays in offense, so I think that is purely execution based, and that's something he can fix if he You can just think about what he's doing and not really what Rezears is doing, how Rezears is positioned to save his shots. Look at Rezears meanwhile. Joreuz tries a big aerial play. It's easily denied. Then Rezears tries a big aerial play. Scores first time. Saw the pre-jump and just steers the ball past Joreuz with the wave dash shot. It's Clyde. Thanks for 8-month Prime. He says Joreuz and Archie should pick up Alpha 54 so they can all just not play the game together. I believe that was actually rumoured to be on the cards, or one of the options that those players were considering in the off-season, and that was the joke that was going around, is that this team's going to be perfect because they can all just have 0 hours past 2 and nobody's going to feel animosity towards their teammates for working less than they are. Rezears, perfect pop for the air double bump. Joreuz saves it by going around the side this time. Rezears is right back into control though, and has a reset to work with once again, trying to pinch it. Joreuz reads and denies and scores. So still that goalkeeping style of Joreuz is effective. His reads are still working. Really all that's lacking now from Joreuz is that pop-off offense. Can he start to connect with his big plays in attack in this matchup? Am I doing the Fear tournament tonight? No, I wouldn't have actually been able to, even if he needed a co-streamer for tonight. 1, I don't think he needs a co-streamer tonight. I believe he's just streaming all the games. But yeah, 2, I won't be able to stay up late enough for it tonight. I do have to get up early tomorrow, so this will be an earlier night for me. Perfect shot from Rezears. Joreuz will not be happy with this save here. He's tried to get a second touch on it, I believe. He's tried to play it into the back wall, then knock it into the corner with a flying rebound. But just miss it the first touch completely. Good vision there by Joreuz in the kickoff. The S from Rezears is missing in the title. Is it really? Oh yeah, so it is. I'll update that right now. There we go. Thanks for letting me know. We don't want one Rezear. We want all the Rezears to be present for this matchup. It looks like they are. Banger floor pinch past Joreuz, who didn't have any boost to defend with. Rezears just wearing him down and blasting the ball past him. Sarcastic86, thanks for the Prime. Welcome to the channel. Both players kind of grinding to a halt here. That's really well played though by Rezears. Realized that he was going to lose out in the race in the mid boost, so he just didn't go for the mid boost. Just took the ball to the back corner with him. Barely dodges it demo. Joreuz lands it on the ground though. Shoots first time. It's high. Rezears can see that. Plays it to his back corner anyway, just to be sure that Joreuz isn't going to go for a rebound there. Half the game to go. Joreuz desperately needs to get a win here just for his confidence. He's lost the last 2. The game before this was a forfeit with a whole lot of time left. Joreuz looks like he's going to get there for this goal. Oh, he actually goes the other way. Well, he was afraid of a dunk on the one side and tried to save it in the other direction. I'm not sure if it was possible to save it that way, and I'm not sure if Joreuz really needed to be afraid of a dunk. In fact, after second viewing, I don't think he was afraid of a dunk there. He might have just been afraid of getting his boost stolen, and I think what he tried to do is dribble the ball across to the other side, take the boost there, and he hoped that Rezears would just go into the corner that was more obvious and leave Joreuz to take possession and boost uncontested, but very, very risky. That was a tough one to pull off, and it proved to be too difficult. Didn't even get Rezears to commit to the wrong boost in the first place. So down by 2. Rezears denies yet another Joreuz air dribble. He's got a reset here off Joreuz card. Doesn't use it. Joreuz, a very, very heavy first touch here. No shot available off that one. Tries to backboard it to himself, but Rezears is there to save it. Rezears just stalling for time, looking for small pads. Has a couple here. But Joreuz, almost supersonic, flicks it at him, and Rezears actually deflects it into the bar. Another demo for Joreuz. Surely a goal off this one. Indeed, he will score. 200-word essay due tomorrow. Listen, you know, we've all been there. We've all been there with the 200-word essays due tomorrow. Like, I know you're all laughing like, my essay is a 1,500 word. Yeah, big boy, we get it. You're very intellectual. But listen, 200 words, we've all been there. We've all been there in like secondary school with the 200 word essays. Those are tough. I have sympathy for anyone with a 200 word essay when you're at the 200 word essay stage of your life. No one's happy about that. None of you are happy about that. Stop flexing your 1,000 word essays. Nobody's impressed. Like, there's always like a larger word count. There's always going to be a larger word count. You say, oh, my essays are 3,000 words minimum. Okay, well now somebody's going to come in here who's written a dissertation. Then someone is going to come in who's got a PhD. Someone is going to come in who's got a book. Then someone's going to come in who's written the Chronicles of Narnia. Like, just let the man have his moment. Let him, you know, let him weep. Let him mourn about the 200 word essay. I respect it. It's like the weather thing, you know, like when somebody will tweet like, wow, it's so cold today. And then someone else will be like, actually, where I live, that wouldn't even be considered cool, never mind cold. It's like, wow, we get it, bro. Oh, wait a minute. Joreuz should score this. He does. All of a sudden, we've got a 1-goal advantage. It was extremely even, but Rezears tried to get a demo in the back corner, and Joreuz narrowly escaped it. It looked like Rezears might have had contact on his screen, but the server says no, and Joreuz is now just 1 second away from tying the series. And he will. That was the shortest second I've ever seen. My goodness. You know, the 1 second at the top of the screen there, it does break down into smaller amounts that you can actually see on team streams and dynamic overlays. You can see the 0 point whatever indicator. So that was probably a 0.1 or something. And Rezears didn't have any chance to keep it up at all. You have to wake up an hour ago and you're here watching me? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. So do you mean that you've stayed up all night and you were supposed to wake up an hour ago after sleeping, but instead you've stayed up all night and now here you are, still watching? Or as in you're watching the stream 1 hour after waking up? One of those things is a lot more crazy than the other. Nice early challenge from Joreuz to kick off the game. Those are the kind of things that Joreuz was being read on in Game 3, but after some more passive defense in Game 4, looks like Rezears will be more susceptible to Joreuz' early challenges. There we go. Now he does get that little double that he went for earlier on. I pointed out when he messed that one up earlier, but he does try that occasionally, just doubling it off his near post back wall. A good finish from Joreuz as well, jumping over the respawning Rezears to get it. Looked like he didn't really have much going for him in this match. He was struggling, but clutch up at the end of Game 4, and now an opener in Game 5 has got Joreuz in front in a very close series. Rezears shooting from distance. Joreuz again with that same... he's usually very consistent with it, just double in his back corner on his back wall. Such a valuable skill to have because it keeps your opponent at bay. They can't advance until they see where your rebound goes. It doesn't really matter as a defender where it goes. If it goes into the corner, you're usually fine. If it goes across the box, it's usually got enough pace on it that you're not going to concede. So it's a great one to have. Even if it goes straight up into the ceiling, it's going to bounce off the curve occasionally. So Joreuz is quite happy to use that as a defensive tool to buy time. Joreuz with the old-fashioned half-flip technique there, just not half-flipping at all, just jumping up and turning around. Wave dashing the landing, kind of combining the old with the new there, combining the wave dash with the old style of just jumping on a circle. It's actually crazy to look back and see how pro players at the very start of Rocket League turned their cars around. Like before half-flips became a thing, some players would just backflip, like when some players to recover would just backflip 3 times. Like you'd be in offense facing forwards and you would just backflip 3 times, boom, now you're in defense. It would be like that was a recovery back then. Just backflipping all the way into defense. Oh, that's well played by Rezears. I think his initial plan might have been to air dribble bump Joreuz here. Let's take another look. Joreuz was nowhere near air dribble bump location, so Rezears just goes for a reset instead. I mean, the fact that he can threaten both of those shots at the same time is unbelievably impressive. Yeah, after the just backflip spam recoveries, the next evolution of recoveries was single jump. Like what you would do after that is you would reverse, get full speed reversing, or actually even better. Do you want to know the in fact next evolution of just backflipping 3 times to recover if you're facing forwards and you need to get into defense? What players would do is they would backflip once. That would get them up to max speed that you can get from just driving. Then they would jump. Turn 90 degrees, side flip in the direction that they need to go, and then turn the other 90 degrees before landing. Incredible mechanics, like back in the day. Absolutely incredible. Type 1 in chat if you've ever done that to recover. That was really, we're talking prehistoric mechanics. So all of the real OGs will probably have done this. So Joreuz up by 1. Already 3 minutes gone in this game, as both players struggle to score on each other, but Joreuz will be the happier for it, as Rezears earlier in the series seemed to have a much higher success rate against him. That sounds incredible. I'll have to show it after this game. Remind me to hop in Rocket League for a second after this game. I'll show you what I mean, because it might be hard to visualize for some people who just think half flipping whenever I say recover. You just did a handbrake 180. Yeah, that was of course another option, but I'm talking about if your car is dead stopped facing the wrong way. What do you do? Like, that's the position I'm thinking of. Obviously now it's half flip, but back in the day it was anything but. Perfect flick from Rezears. Joreuz getting a bit scared on that play. Didn't want to have to defend with 36 boosts against a couple of Rezears shots. He's just thinking, maybe an early challenge will work, but no, not this time. Joreuz has got to be careful with those. In game 3, Rezears was countering those pretty much every time. Joreuz tries to inverted half flip onto the boost, misses, still has time to get back. This time the fake challenge is successful, turns away in case he's being demoed, and then gets a big 50-50 win. Fake from Joreuz, goes the other way, has 100 boosts to play with, but the ball's not sitting too pretty for him. Still a really nice first touch from Joreuz there. Almost gets the bottom corner finish, but Rezears is there to save it. Rezears just denying every touch Joreuz attempts at the moment. Just messing with Joreuz positioning, but he might have overextended. Joreuz slots the bottom corner wall shot. And where did Rezears go on this play? Well, it looks like Joreuz might have hit maneuvered him actually. I wondered if Rezears had just turned for the boost at a bad time, but I think Joreuz might have pit maneuvered him into that position. Here we go again. Joreuz half flipping. Threatens the in and out clear, controls the ball, and demos Rezears. Well, he's pulled it off every time. Every time he's half flipped into his net, he's got a goal off it. He's not just prevented his opponents from scoring, he's 3 for 3 on this new tech, this brand new technology that's just released. Download it while it's available. They're probably going to make it cost money soon. You've got to get it while it's free, while it's still in alpha. I'm loving it though. I think it's a very interesting strategy. Everybody who's seen him do it has chipped the ball at him. They've chipped the ball high, trying to make it awkward, trying to get it close to the crossbar, thinking, hey, if I hit this close to the crossbar, then maybe Joreuz is going to misread that, and I'll have an easy net. No, Joreuz reads it perfectly every time apparently, so that's clearly not the strat. What is the strat remains to be seen. Joreuz going to be winning this. Oh, an unbelievable finish to an already won game. Joreuz completely switches up the direction with a pre-flip after the reset and sends the ball into the top corner, leaving Rezears merely a spectator in the goal. Strategically brilliant, mechanically masterful. Joreuz on double match point. Rude Jaw, thank you for the 3-month prime. Welcome back to the channel, man. Remember that the winner of this match, it's either going to conclude in 1 or 2 more games. Winner of this one will be playing against Toxic in the grand final. Not long after this match concludes, probably a short break, and to allow the winner of this one a moment to chill after an intense match. Show the ancient mechanics. I'm going to show it after the match. It's a best of 7. Okay, I'm back. Looks like the game's waited for me to click spectate. That's nice. Very back and forth series we're seeing here. Joreuz laid down the gauntlet in game 1. Rezears managed to break that incredible defensive style that Joreuz was showing off. Deny a lot of Joreuz challenges. in game 2. Oh, hold on a second. Rezears with the pogo. He nearly makes it work. Has the recovery afterwards. Joreuz rescued by the post on that one. Still more big plays from Rezears. This one saved by Joreuz. Recovery on the underside of the crossbar, and once more Rezears recovers. The fact that he's got recoveries off the back of these plays is kind of mind-blowing. This would leave the majority of players in the world stranded completely, but Rezears, third time lucky, gets it by Joreuz. The standard has been unbelievably high by these pair. This pair, I should say. They are aging like fine wine as this series goes on and on. All of the mistakes and all of the inconsistencies earlier seem to be just a distant memory at this point. And Joreuz kind of looked like he might be pogoing there, but we saw him jump on the ground. We saw that, Joreuz. Not as cool when you jump. Rezears might have been thinking about doing it there, but Joreuz actually advanced forward just to threaten a challenge on any kind of pogo attempt. That's why Rezears didn't go for it. But Joreuz, with some very nice acceleration, gets it over the top of Rezears, just scores right by him with a quick counter-attack. Wave dash recovery kickoff for Rezears goes pretty well. Joreuz plays the ball to the side just to buy himself time to get boost. Early challenge, unsuccessful, and Rezears floor pinches the open net. Well, Joreuz didn't have a lot of fun defending reactively to the big aerial plays that Rezears sent at him early in the game. He had 1 out of 3 in terms of making contact with the ball when Rezears is air dribbling. The pogo went past him. He saved the close range flick and then got scored on with Rezears' third try, but yeah, it looks like Joreuz wanted to just go one of these times, thinking, okay, I can't sit in net every time, I might as well go. And now that he's got that one out of the system, he's back to sitting in net, but Rezears goes through him, 3-1. Well, Rezears' plan is pretty clear. Aerial play every time. Ceiling reset this time into an air dribble 50-50. He hasn't done the same thing twice. Joreuz is going to have his work cut out for him if he's going to stop these shots. Early shot from Joreuz right after the kickoff. Rezears saves it well, lands with possession and boost. The attack commences already with a massive flick from Rezears. Joreuz actually going to be the first to the ball though. Rezears too close to actually make a play on that one. Joreuz missed the reset he went for and wasn't able to get the second attempt off before Rezears arrived. Joreuz leaving the mid boost there so he can take a shot instead. And look at this play. Oh my goodness. That is confidence. A lot of players would have played for the boost. Joreuz with 60 just shoots and then rebounds over the top of Rezears' defense. I mean, that is incredible confidence in his boost management. Half flip kickoff again from Joreuz. Rezears concedes possession on it. Joreuz still having a ton of success with his half flip kickoffs. The only one that he hasn't done is the inverted half flip kickoff in the straight spawn. I really want to see that one. If you want evidence that that one works. I myself scored a kickoff goal in AJ with it yesterday, so just saying it's a pretty good strategy. You might want to implement it in your own games. No need to go back and watch that, of course. Just take my word for it. Oh, Rezears is so close. That was incredibly unfortunate. Joreuz calmly clears after the post saves him from being down by 2. Nah, no, he wasn't playing KBM. What are you talking about? AJ wasn't playing KBM. That's not true. Don't watch the VOD. Just take my word for it. Vision from Joreuz is good. And he ties with just over 2 minutes to go. Rezears trying to sneak a reverse challenge in, but Joreuz can see underneath the ball. It's very dangerous to reverse challenge on a high bouncing ball like this. When somebody's carrying the ball, they can't see you coming. When the ball's up in the air, they can see under it. Massive flick from Joreuz. I don't think Rezears realizes how much boost he's got. Rezears has none. Joreuz managed to save up 30 from the kickoff. I don't think Rezears noticed. Oh, he had 20 actually. Yeah, he didn't put Joreuz on 30 boost, so underestimated just how quickly Joreuz is going to get up for that ball. To be fair, I was playing KBM too. Yeah, that's true. I was also playing KBM. It's not like I always play KBM or anything. No, but unironically, it's a good strat where you straight spawn, inverted half flip. Make sure to jump right before you reach the ball so that your car flips over and hits the ball dead center. I think it's a very good strat to mix in Maybe once a series. Maybe once a game if you're very, very good at it. Rezears air dribbling past Joreuz here, but Joreuz is back out of nowhere. Oh my goodness, where did he come from? Surprise! No open net for you. And now the pre-jump from Rezears, almost countered by a Joreuz long shot. That's why you shoot from distance every now and then. Look to catch out your opponent pre-jumping as they think you're air dribbling from your back corner. Joreuz just a minute away from winning this. Rezears testing him, and this time Joreuz can't stop him. Need a replay of that. Indeed we do. Tie game. Rezears has been throwing absolutely everything at Joreuz this game, but the goalkeeping is just about holding up. Can he keep this one out? Yes, he can. Rezears has 100 boost though. Shoots off target. Joreuz trying to pick up as many small pads as he can. Two will have to do. Rezears almost able to dish that one in. Just one pad for Joreuz. Uses it to accelerate the ball to safety. Couple wave dashes. Get him up to speed. And Rezears will resume his offensive display all the way from the back corner, but this time Joreuz gets a challenge in nice and early. Fakes the ceiling pinch. Collects the ball in the air. Catches it underneath Rezears, who's having to manage his boost here. He's done exceptionally well though. Don't know if Joreuz expects him to have 70 there. Joreuz knows that that's off target. Just taps the brakes there to dodge the demo. And you know, he had Rezears beat for pace there. Rezears saved by the post. Joreuz looking to go for the big aerial play on 0 seconds. No reset for him. Rezears trying to keep it up. He's got a big boost advantage for himself. He does keep it up. Flick goes Joreuz's way though, and into overtime we go. Joreuz goes to the grand final with 1 goal, or Rezears will tie the series and send us to game 7. Fake kickoff for Rezears. Nets him a possession from distance. He's been huge with the aerial plays this game, and that's a massive flick, but maybe too big. Joreuz has the ball and scores on the counter. Rezears let loose just a bit too much. He absolutely threw everything into that one. Joreuz did not need to panic. He could see that it was way wide. And into the finals he goes. 4-2. What a series. Joreuz and Rezears putting on an absolute show for us all. That was one of the best 1v1s I've seen in a while.